Peace, fam. This your brother, Mr. Holism. I was actually waiting for Minister DeWood, but he's, I think, going to be a little late. Okay, yeah, he's there. He's just coming in a little bit late. But just wanted to say what's up to everybody. It was a beautiful 80-degree day in New York City, in Brooklyn. And when there's 80 degrees outside and you got a coronavirus, the coronavirus is going to lose because everybody's going outside regardless. So that's pretty much how it was. Everybody went out to get some sun. They may not have stayed out a long time, but they went out. So it was a beautiful day, a lot of people outside. I went out briefly just to take a walk and get some air, and I went to the supermarket, but I didn't stay out that long. What's up, Ronan Black? What's up, Black Mr. Wilson? What's up, Chima? What's up, Thomas? What's up, Love? I didn't really want to get into this until the Wood came in. So I'm just killing time, bullshitting around. But it was actually pretty nice today. Pretty nice. So warm you didn't need a jacket. You can go out with a t-shirt on. Da, 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 da. And I guarantee you, I'm going to get a phone call. I'm going to get a phone call from either my girl or from my cousin. Because I can be in this house all day long. Nobody calls me. The moment I get on a live stream or do a Zoom meeting, everybody calls me. So that's just how it works out. Peace, AA Sharp. San Diego representing. I hear you. Oh, that's what I want. You know what? I can talk about that. There's about 9 people on the BAIO website that have not uploaded a picture of themselves so they can get full access to the website. I've sent out emails to these people 3 times, and either they're not looking at their email or they're just refusing to upload a picture of themselves, because you cannot be on our site if there's not a picture of you so we know that you're a human being. And if you got a problem with that, don't let the doorknob hit you on the way out. Don't care. I've heard some people say, oh, that sounds like some agent shit. No, you know what sounds like some agent shit? Motherfuckers that don't want to be seen. That's what sounds like some agent shit. Not only have I been seen, you can if you on Facebook, you know what I look like. I've actually went to Africa with y'all niggas. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say nigga. I went to Africa with my brothers and sisters. Sorry, that was me just clowning out. That's wrong. No niggas went down. Well, one nigga went down to Africa. Definitely. All right, here's the wood. Peace, bro.
Peace, bro. Sorry about that. My freaking computer's slow and I'm just getting home.
Nah, it's no problem. I had to start because Facebook was saying they were gonna delete the stream if I didn't start by 9:09. So I was like, oh shit, okay.
What? It's like that now?
Yeah, they getting on you.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You doing this simultaneously live?
Yeah, I'm streaming on YouTube and on Facebook.
Oh, word. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
Here.
Yes, sir.
The solution to white depression is black men crying. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
I mean, we wasted our time with all this VAIO stuff. All we had to do was cry.
Oh yeah, word.
And get white people to know us, and then racism will be over.
Damn. If only we found that years ago, we would have wasted so little time. You know what I mean?
The basis for this show is somebody sent me a video this morning. What was it? No, not this morning. Yesterday morning. When I was at Estes, and this shit pissed me off. This seriously triggered me.
Word.
I was triggered by this. And if you guys look in the description box, because I'm not gonna play that video. I can't. I will never put y'all through the suffering and pain that I went through by listening to it. But if you want to, it's called "Before You Call the Cops."
Right.
And it's the Tyler Merritt Project. I don't know who Tyler Merritt is. I'm assuming that's the guy who was talking. But if you listen to that video, basically what the dude is doing is he's giving this soft-spoken, supposed to be genuine appeal to let white people know who he is first. So he's breaking down who he is, what he likes. You know, it sounded like he was auditioning for a date or something. You know, I'm a Scorpio. I like long walks, and like all this bullshit. That's what it sounded like he was doing. I want y'all to know who I am before you call the cops, as if that's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't know who you are. Oh, that's who you. Oh, so you like long walks in the park? You don't like bananas? Oh shit! I wish I had known that. That way I would have called the cops on you.
He's like, I'm a Scorpio. I like long walks. Yo.
And in the description, like I posted it on my Facebook page, and I said, "This is pathetic, sad, and weak as fuck. We will kick each other's teeth in if a stare lasts a few milliseconds longer than it should be. But when it comes to people kicking our ass on a daily basis, we resort to feckless moral appeals. I'm fucking done."
Word.
And I put, if there are any real black men left in America, hit us up at baioafricstan.org. One. And I just kirked out after that.
Word up.
But the thing that pissed me off about that is that nigga who did that video, I bet you he don't have that same amount of sincerity and passion, like that same amount of passionate need to be loved and let people know who he is if he was dealing with another black person.
Indeed.
I guarantee you.
Indeed.
Because we save all of our energy and all our angst and all our aggression for ourselves, and then we turn into fucking Gandhi when it comes to the people that's really kicking our ass.
Yep.
And that's what pissed me off. And what pissed me off, it's like multiple things triggered me when I saw that. Is this the type of black man that we generating in America? On a whole, this is the type of black man that this system, this culture that we have here in America is generating. Then it's no wonder we in the position that we in.
Right.
There was another dude who he has I don't even post that video, but it's another video with him. He was delivering. We generating in America. Oh wait, what happened?
No, I'm sorry. I went to I got all of the feeds up, and that was a double of your voice from the Facebook Live. Go ahead.
Oh, that was me actually. I unmuted it for some reason.
Oh.
But there was another video of a brother who was delivering into a gated community. So the person who he was delivering to gave him the gate code. He got in, delivered the package, was on his way out, and some white dude stopped the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Or put the truck in front of him. Because technically he could have went around the dude, but
right.
But he left the truck right in front of
him.
Yeah, he left the truck in front to stop the guy from moving, and went into this back and forth with this guy, And at the end of the thing, after everything was done, because the person who he delivered to came out and told the guys to move, this nigga started crying.
Yep.
This nigga getting emotional in the truck. Oh, I've been going through a lot. It's amazing the amount of restraint we show with our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
moment it becomes us or another black person, do you think if that was a black man that stopped that truck, he would have reacted the same way?
No, hell no. He would have jumped out that truck and wrestled them to the ground.
Exactly. He would have jumped out that truck and pulled him out of that truck.
Yeah.
And it would have been all kinds of niggas and beat downs. It would have been a
Yep.
WWE. But we get in front of these white people, and now all of a sudden it's this passionate thing. And then but the real nigga is the one, the first one. It's the link in the description. This Tyler Merritt project bullshit. And this video was actually not that recently. This was in 2018. If you didn't know that.
No, I didn't. I didn't even watch that video, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't want any of y'all to watch it other than to just watch maybe the beginning and the very end. That way you don't have to hear him talk about, oh, I don't like bananas. I do, like, he's giving all odds. See, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you they was gonna call me? Take over for a minute. Let me handle this. This is my girl.
Brothers and sisters, it's a pleasure and honor to be here today on Hollop's channel. He is always so gracious enough to invite me to be on with him. I need to do that more on mine. I always think of like me just giving him my message and my ministry background, but I definitely need to invite him and some more guests on my channel so that we can kind of cross promote. Please, if you are not familiar, please subscribe to the Good Brother Brian channel also, because he's putting in some good work. But listen, what we are trying to do today, it is not our intention to shame black men as a whole for what these two piss poor sorry individuals did. It is our intention to show you that this is what we've come to, and kind of diagram what kind of man you're looking for to solve this problem, what kind of woman that you're looking for to solve this problem, and how can we become that person if we're not already on the way. You see, the beautiful thing about the BAIO mission being land, infrastructure, nationhood, and the question being what is the end game, is that we always will talk about the problem for just a split second, but we'll spend a lot more time talking about the solution, because we're a solution-oriented organization, and me and all of the brothers that are with and sisters that are with me, we are all solution-oriented people. So you will see a lot of times we won't spend a lot of time on the, basically on the negative side, but we got to talk about it. Because I'm not going to lie to you. When I saw the title of the video with the guy in the gated community, the delivery guy, and it said he cried, I said, oh man, I don't want to see this bullshit. But for real, because I was like, no, he didn't. There's no way he didn't. He didn't do that. Because, even though I'm for nationhood, I'm for, a nation of our own off the shores of America on the continent of Africa, I still connect to brothers and sisters that are here, and I still get embarrassed when you niggas act like bitches. And so therefore, when I saw that, I said, I guess I'll watch it. Because I didn't watch the other guy that was crying, but I did watch this guy. And man, when he started crying, talking about this guy, I'm like, first of all, this is an old white person that had you blocked into that. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't somebody your size. It wasn't somebody your age. It was an old dude that you could have just flicked aside with ease, judging by the size, because the brother was a big brother. And instead of dealing with that way, you chose to cry. So now if you ask him, well, why did you cry? He'll probably come up with some shit like, well, the reason why I cried was I knew that if I would have did something, the police would have came and blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it, brother, is this. The least thing you could have did was held some kind of dignity. The least thing you could have did was kept your spine straight and your shoulders right and been like, look, I demand to get the fuck out of here. If you don't back up, I'm going to run across this person's lawn. That's how I'm giving it up. And I would have scared the crap out of them, because the thing is that, like Hollop said, and I want to say this from my side of the thing. Black people, we have the reputation of quote unquote going 0 to 100. You know what that means, y'all? That means we have the reputation for taking shit to the highest extreme on something little. We do that. I do it. You do it. We all do it, because we're very spiritual people. We're also very emotional people. And I love when I get around people who act like you don't do that, because you lying to everybody else, my nigga, but you're not lying to me. I know if
You've seen me go 0 to 100.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Peace, Sister Esther's in the chat room. Please, Sister Esther. And peace to Don, peace to Darius, peace to Vic Shepherd. The family is all here. Peace to Brother D Nubian, all of my brothers and sisters here. Peace to Sister Shauna. Peace to all of y'all. So the thing is, we have the ability to go 0 to 100, but like Holland said, you go 0 to 100 with your own people. You don't go 0 to 100 with anybody else. And peace to Skin Deep. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if there was a black person there, this would have been a world star video. That person would have drove in reverse at 90 miles per hour, wampooned the shit out of that car, grabbed the dude, and you know what I'm saying? It would have been a world star moment. But because it was a white person, you chose to cry. That's what you did. And so for me, I kind of still resonate with the black man, black woman from America, because I'm from here, and even though I want an independent nation, we don't have it yet. So it was embarrassing for me, but what it really was more embarrassing about is I know what you're capable of, and what you chose to do is you chose to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm questioning it, and I'm speculating because I don't know for sure. But it seems to me like, where the tears come? What was the tears for? Was the tears for that you were being discriminated against? Was the tear for this white man didn't understand you? Like, what are the fucking tears for? What are you crying for?
Word. And let me what you call it. Let me if there are people in the chat room, you're new to the BIO, you're new to black nationalism, you still have that where the problem, black people is really part of the problem. You're the kind of person that thinks that all you have to do is cut your cornrows, get rid of your tattoos, you know what I'm saying, pull your pants up because they're sagging, and white people will treat you better. Let me dispel that myth real quick. Now, some of you are connected to me by Facebook and some of you aren't. But you may know that coming from the Nation of Islam culture, basically I fit the description that you just described. I have 0 tattoos on my body. I wear a baldy or a Caesar. You know what I'm saying? I have no gold teeth in my head. And for all intents and purposes, Muslims are not really allowed to wear sagging clothes. And every time I go to a parking lot where there's 3 or more white persons, the minute they take one look at me, they turn around, grab their key fob, and make sure that their car is armed. And sometimes it gets on my nerves to the point where when I see them do it, I time them, and then I go, beep, 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 black guy, black guy. And then they look at me like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, well, nigga, I might as well have fun with it if you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets on my nerves. It really gets on my nerves. I'm like, so here's the thing. You thought your car was safe as long as there was white people in this parking lot. But the minute you saw one white person, you decided that you needed to arm your system because I'm capable of robbing your nasty ass tissues, your freaking leftover tampons, and your nasty ass whatever it is that you left in your car. Meanwhile, I'm jumping out of a van with anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 worth of equipment. Do you understand that? So therefore, what I brought here, and I'm really being very generous because 9 times out of 10, if I'm on a long trip, I got sometimes $20,000, $30,000 worth of equipment on my van. You're afraid of me robbing your car when what I got can buy your car in my van. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, but I don't cry about it. I don't go live and talk about it. You've never heard me talk about this. Well, I think I've talked about it on the show before, but I've never I don't be whining about it or whatever because I understand this is America. And here it is in 2020, although we have massive interracial marriage as well as as well as all the stuff that you could talk about that you niggas use as your talking points. The reality of it is that nothing has really changed. We're still seeing the same way. And so therefore you ask yourself, what can be done to change that perception? You can't really do anything here to change the perception. You have to change the entire context. That's my lob to you.
Yeah, man. And as far as this whole if anybody saw a soldier story, that's all you have to do. Watch a soldier story, and that answers the question.
Right.
Because at the end of the soldier story, what did Sarge say before they blew his ass away? They still hate you.
Mm-hmm.
And all the crying comes from you refusing to acknowledge the reality of your situation. You still want these people to like you.
Yep.
You still want these people to love you.
Yep.
Like that stuff doesn't, if anything, it annoys me because like if I'm trying to do something, it's annoying to me. But I don't sit back and go, oh my God, I was discriminated against today. Hell, aren't you in America? When is this stuff going to cease being a fucking surprise to you?
Right.
Like, I remember one time,
Yep.
I'll give you an example. One time I was in a supermarket and you know how on the side they have like the gum and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So I was behind this white lady. It was an older white lady in front of me and a younger white lady behind me.
Right.
So I was on the white lady had moved her stuff. She was on the next person, like she put it up on that thing where they put it on the whatever that thing is called.
Conveyor belt?
The conveyor belt thing. And she
Yep.
had her stuff on there getting ready to put it on.
Right.
And I saw something on the thing and I reached for it and I reached over her shoulder to grab it. She turned around and like she was like Jason was behind her or something. And I saw that and I was like, get the fuck out of it. And I went and grabbed it and I didn't pay no attention to it. And the younger white lady behind me was shaking her head like, you know, what the fuck is wrong with? And I'm sitting there going, what the, really?
Right.
Really?
Right.
Like that's that. Like your shit. You got just what you carrying with you? You got gold on you? You got platinum? I'm setting you up in the middle of a supermarket.
Yep.
It's more annoying than anything else. But it's not. I didn't sit there crying because some white lady didn't think that. Oh, how could you treat me like I'm a human being? And you a fucking clown if you think that. Or you are highly delusional.
I think.
Don't you know where you are yet? You haven't figured out where you are yet?
I think what it speaks to though is also as we develop this, and I'm thinking what it speaks to is this individual. He has some thoughts about the way things are going. I'll give you an example. When Barack Obama became president, I remember I was still in the locksmith game, kind of, and I remember I was going around, and I can remember one distinct lady's house I went to. I was changing her locks. And she says, I voted for Obama. Like I was supposed to go, hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? And, hallelujah. I was supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so, I basically did what I do because, I got to still get paid and I can't be militant on the job. I was like, oh, that's great. And so, so what ended up happening is she was saying, because of Obama, she said he's changing the perception, the way white people look at you guys. And I was like, okay, like we need to stop this conversation because you're really getting into territories that I might say something slick. You know what I'm saying? So, but she was like, she was sincere though. So I didn't really want to stop her. She was like, he's changing the way white people are seeing you. And she gave me like 2 or 3 examples of people she knew was hardcore racist all her life. And because Obama was president, they now see black people differently. And I was like, man, that was in the first term though. So Patrick is cutting up in the chat room. so the second term, here's the funny thing. The second term, that's when they started hating him. That's when they started, saying he wasn't born here. And I remember Rush Limbaugh even saying on his show that the one criticism he had of Obama is he did not bring his white mother onto the stage of the inauguration. I was like, what? I was like, that is your criticism? and so, it's almost like they was reaching for straws. But what I'm saying is that I guess what we're saying here today is, or what I'm saying, and what we're saying here today is basically that I think that the guy cried because he buys into that kind of shit. He buys into that particular philosophy that we're being seen differently. And when he got locked into that parking spot, he got his what they call nigga wake up call. And he found out, no, actually, they don't.
Well, let's look at what happened to the king of moralism, Bill Cosby.
Yep.
Mr. And if I recall, he had his pants pulled up and had a belt on when they took him to jail.
Yep. Yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he
So
did.
there goes that moralizing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's what,
we trying to figure out what we can do to be acceptable to white people. That's what we're trying to figure out. We're not trying to figure out how to get land, how to control infrastructure, how to have a nation, how to have socioeconomic and political control over your reality. We're trying to figure out what can we do to make white people feel comfortable.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What can we do? If I talk like this, maybe they'll not call the cops on me. Maybe if they get to know me, they won't call the cops on me. That's what this guy was who, in the description box. Like I said, if you feel like suffering by listening to that shit,
I gotta
it's
watch
right
it.
there in the description box.
I gotta watch it now because you got me cracking up. Because you just like, I'm a Scorpio. I like long walks.
Yeah, he's going through like he's trying to date the white man. All you got to do is get to know me, Mr. White Man, and you won't call the cops. Just get to know me before you call the cops. That's what he said. Before you call the cops on me, get to know me. So he ain't even telling you not to call the cops on him.
Yo, so listen. So let's talk about the mentality that you should have. Now, again, a lot of you brothers and sisters, because you don't really know the inner workings. No, as I always say, I come from the Nation of Islam culture, and in that culture, a lot of what you think we learn is not what we really learn. What we learn is to be level-headed in these situations because you learn to take America on the whole and white folks in general, you learn to take them exactly how they give you. And so therefore, it is not that you get disappointed because what you thought they was going to treat you, or how you thought they was going to treat you, they don't. You already assume that they're going to react to you and treat you this way. And so therefore, for myself, I'll be very honest with you. Of all my coworkers, I am the only one that wears my badge everywhere I go. And when I say my badge, I mean, we have like an ID, and the ID says that we work for this company and you're authorized to work on this particular supermarket. And when I walk up in there, I will be goddamned if they don't check for that badge every time they see me. And I'd be like, hey, I'm so and so. I'm here to work on your such and such system. And I go on my phone. I show them a work order. They seen that work order 1,000 times. They know exactly what it looks like. But right before they go and let me in the office or whatever they got to let me into, they got to see my badge one more time. You know what I'm saying? When I was in training and I was with my coworkers, I never saw his badge. I didn't even know we had a badge.
Mm.
I didn't even know we had a badge. It's only when I got hired that they was like, oh, well, and here's how they did it. It was smooth. They was like, well, to get into certain pharmacies and cash offices, you got to have this badge. And I was like, no, listen, you ain't got to dumb it down for me. I already know what it is. Everywhere I go, I'm going to have this badge on because they don't trust me because I'm black. So when I show up, man, the worst thing that you could do is show up with your panties up in up in your neck, like, why you want to see my badge? You know what I'm saying? Because that means that you're expecting them to treat you like a human being.
Right.
And you shouldn't. You should not expect them to treat you like, because they're not going to. Either consciously or subconsciously, they're not going to treat you like that. So as a person that is a nationalist and a level-headed brother or sister about nationhood, you should already expect that. And you should conduct yourself with a level head, knowing this is what they're going to try, or this is how they're going to see you, and you need not get offended. So you already meet them at the pass. In this situation, if the dude would have pulled up on me, I just said, yo, I'm so-and-so from such and such company delivering such and such. This nigga here gave me the code. That's exactly what I would have said. Now, some of you in the chat room, you'd probably say, well, you're being a coon. Let me ask you something. What the fuck would you prove? What are you proving by denying him that information? Basically, what you're saying is you have the right of every other American to be in that gated community. And guess what? You don't. You don't. And you know why you don't? They showed you don't. Because they blocked you in. Because let's be very honest. What the fuck would you be doing in that person's driveway in the gated community with a code on the gate? What would you be doing there? It's like the Dave Chappelle comedy show where he said, remember he said the police came in, knocked his ass out, and was like, he's an open and shut case, Watson. It's a prime example of a nigger breaking into their house and throwing pictures up on the wall of himself. You don't remember that from the Dave Chappelle show?
Yep, I remember.
Yo, so here's the thing. If I didn't have the code, how would I get in? How would I get in? And how did I know to park in this guy's driveway right here? You know what I'm saying? So when you look at these videos, you're not asking yourself critical questions. They already knew he was supposed to be there because number one, he wouldn't have the code, and number two, he wouldn't be in their driveway. They were trying to humiliate him and make an example out of him. That's exactly what went down. And quite frankly, what I would have did, I wouldn't have been a bitch about it. I wouldn't have had my hands up and been like, no. I'd have been like, yo, I'd have came with an attitude. I'd have came down that driveway, got in his face and said, this person, Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger, they wanted me to deliver a fucking chair. They gave me the code, which was 52523434, and he's right there. And that's what I would have said. I wouldn't have been like, I'm not giving up the information because I ain't got nothing to prove to y'all because I already know that's how y'all view me. So now a video goes viral, and I'm sorry, hold on. I just got to say this last thing. A video goes viral, and most of you really sheeple. You look at this video and you get angry. And you say, oh my God, they did that to another black man. But in reality, if you're a nationalist, did you really see it that way? Is that the way you saw it? The way you saw it is that he did exactly what he was supposed to do other than cry? Because that's not how I see it. The way I see it is you should already have known those people's going to treat you like that. You should already have known that. You should already have known that that's the way they're going to see you. And you should have went down there arrogant and been like, yo, my name is Elroy. And I came through here to deliver this chair to this nigga right here. And he gave me the code, which is 5454666. You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, you got a problem, take it up with him. But I know this much. They get your car the fuck out of my way before something happens to you. And that's how I would. Am I wrong, Holland?
Not at all.
That's the way I would have went out. Because if I would have went out that way, what really right would you have to block my driveway? To block the driveway and let me out? I've already told you who I was. I've already told you who let me in and what the code was. And I already told you better get your shit the fuck out of my way. So now you got a decision to make. But because he stood there trying to believe in the American dream and defend his right not to say something, tell me that you're a nationalist and you see it that way. If you see it that way, I'm not sure that you fit for the BAIO. Because I don't really understand I mean, honestly, bro, I'm not saying some serious stuff, but am I making sense?
Exactly. You're making a lot of sense. Because this what it is. You're coming from the perspective that this is not your country. You don't belong here. You're not a free citizen and all this other crazy crap. You don't have no goddamn rights.
Right.
So if anything, like you said, I would have handled it exactly the same way you did. Like, oh, why are you here? I'm here to deliver this. I got the code. That's the person that I delivered it to. Go check with them.
Yep.
We can wait here while you go check. And after you go check, you better get this truck the fuck out of my way before I run it over.
Yep. Yep.
So you better make it quick.
Yep. And then I would have started my engine.
Yeah. Crash that shit, knock it out the way, and keep on moving.
Mm-hmm. But instead, you were trying to appeal to their sensibilities, and they looked you in the face and said, "Nigga, you ain't our cousin." You know what I'm saying?
He was trying to show that he was an American. You can't question me. Like, what, nigga? Yes, he can question you. That's his gated community. It ain't yours.
So let's talk about this. I don't know if you wanted to say something else to that, or because I want to tie in this whole Ahmaud Arbery situation and how do you see that?
Well, before you do that, I just want to make 2 points.
Go ahead, please.
Point while it's on my mind. Point number 1 is that not only do we talk the talk, but we walk the walk, and I'm talking about me and you.
Yes.
Because the BAIL didn't officially start until about 2015. So that was when Obama was in his second term. But land infrastructure nationhood started around 2008 when Obama first got into office.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been pushing that concept when we got the first black president.
Right. Right.
So I want you to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We got the first black president. So while everybody was hallelujah and we made it, and Whoopi Goldberg said, well, now I can put my bags back down and da 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 da. We decided that, we need to get the fuck out of here and have a nation of our own.
Mm-hmm.
When there was a black president.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just talking shit and talking rhetoric.
Right.
We're walking the walk. Second point that I wanted to make. You know what? I forgot the second point. So let's go to the other one. I remember it.
Okay, when you remember,
that was the main point I wanted to make.
Yeah, I know it was important. I wanted to hear that, but you're so right. Like, brothers and sisters, like, we did not start the BIO in response to Trump.
Exactly.
We did not start the BIO in response to Bush. We did it during the Obama era. And let's be very honest. I have to say this, and I know y'all don't want me to say this, but I got to say this. Your boy Lester was caping for Obama before he joined us. Ask him about that. Ask him about that. He was going after Farrakhan, Cornel West, and anybody who talked against Obama, because that was his boy. And then all of a sudden, because we started talking about Obama, he jumped off the ship. But before that, go check his archives. He has shows, and the shows are called the Obama Shuffle. And you know what the Obama Shuffle is? It's basically you are cooning because when you hear the word Obama, you do a shuffle. How asinine can you get? How asinine can you get? Because you want to criticize the man for not doing anything for black people, that's cooning? So anyway, I just have to say that and get off. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
I remember my second point. Actually, it's on the screen right now because Ronan had me cracking up. He said black folks could be in a room with Michael Myers and plead to him to see him as a human being, then be surprised when he stabs him in the chest with that butcher knife.
Yep. Yo, and quite frankly, if you black and Michael Myers is in the room, you going first. let us not be deluded or clouded about this. His GPS tells him black guy dies first. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's going to say turn left and kill Daoud. Turn right and kill And then after that, it'll be like, in 20 minutes, you will reach Bob. But the first two turns is going to be black. It's like, even in Aliens, one of my favorite science fiction movies, the first person that died was Frost. And I'm like, damn. So. Yeah. But yeah, hell yeah. I told her that Ahmaud Arbery's murder proves the point that we are talking about with nationalism. So let's talk about that for a second. So everybody's in the uproar against this brother who, for all intents and purposes, was jogging. And when he was jogging, see, I've read a lot about this, but I have not watched that video. I can't watch the video, son. I can't do it.
The video of him being shot or the video?
Yeah.
The video I've seen it.
I don't be watching these videos, man, because I can't deal with it. Emoji in the house. I can't deal with it. But nevertheless, first off, the dude that was the father has been filmed with like some kind of white supremacist flag on and stuff like that. So people have seen
as if he even needed that. Like, what is that, like gravy or something? Is that like the cherry on the top that I needed? Exactly. like that's the thing that kills me. Like, all right, so he was associated with the Klan, and what's your point?
Right. That makes it worse, right? That makes it worse.
Oh, now he was associated with the Klan, so he was really racist. These niggas, man. Go ahead, brother. I don't want to interrupt.
No, I'm lobbing that up for you because the people's outrage basically is what the outrage is that he was hunted down while he was jogging, and the thing is this. For me, what I look at is this: is that the first thing that you saw, which is typical, is as soon as this all came out. Now, mind you, this all happened in February. Did you hear about this in February? I didn't.
No.
So that's the first thing that surprised me. The first thing that surprised me is like, damn, this happened before Savior's Day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there like, we didn't know about this in February. So February, then you got March, then you got April, and I guarantee you that those white folks were sitting there saying to themselves, "Damn, it's a good thing this coronavirus thing dropped, because now ain't nobody really gonna pay attention to us." Wrong. So somebody leaked the video, and the video goes viral, and now you have people. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about you really think you doing something by jogging 2.8 miles just like he did? Have you seen that, bro?
What do you mean?
So apparently they know the amount of miles that he jogged. So there's black people who are jogging the same amount of miles in solidarity with him. And there's a hashtag, I run with Ahmad.
Oh, Jesus. No, I didn't know about that until you just told me.
Yeah, son. Yes. So you jog or you ride your bike or whatever you choose to do, and you do it in his name. You jog or you run with Ahmad. And you're supposed to jog. Yo, it's ridiculous. You're supposed to jog a certain amount of miles because he jogged a certain amount of miles. And this kind of is churchy, if you really want to be honest, because there's a lot of concepts and rituals that people do that's according to the Bible and is symbolic, just like the children of Israel or something like that. This is the same thing here, where people are saying, I'm jogging or running in solidarity. Nigga, jogging the same amount of miles he did is not going to bring him back.
Can I ask you a question?
Say what?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
In your opinion, how much energy does it take to jog 2.8 miles compared to the energy that it takes to sign up to a fucking free website?
Not even comparable. It's not even comparable.
Niggas would rather run 2.8 miles for fucking nothing.
Yep.
If you want to be in solidarity, why don't you sign up with a group that's trying to get the fuck out of here and get some social, economic, and political power?
And let's not get it twisted. These two will get off.
Of course.
Because they already found shoplifting in his past, and that justifies him getting killed. So basically they searched and they found it. Oh, he was shoplifting in his past. And I'm saying to myself, like, man, I once got arrested for disorderly conduct. The night that Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas, I was in college. And me and my homies, we was on our way to, because back in those days, didn't have no cell phones or whatever. So one person on campus had cable. We lived in on-campus housing. So we was all drunk and we was on our way over there. And you mean like we was joking, son, but we wasn't like breaking windows or anything like that. So long story short, it was in a short, small town called Sullivan County, New York. And the police rolled up on us and they was like, where you boys going? We want y'all to walk in a straight line. Me, I always had mouth. So I was like, walking a straight line? Fuck y'all. What y'all talking about walking? Next thing you know, I was getting cuffed and thrown in the car. So as I was getting thrown in the car, I remember my boy, who actually lives up here where I live now, he was like, what's the charges? And the dude was like, nigga, you better, what I'm saying? So he backed off. So they took me down to the station and I got booked for disorderly conduct. I was there for 3 hours. My landlord bailed me out. And basically they made me apologize in front of everybody, which I still don't know what I apologized for, but I had to apologize in front of everybody. And if I didn't get into trouble for 6 months, my record would be sealed. If in fact something happened to me, I guarantee you somehow they would say he got arrested for disorderly conduct. That's why he should be killed.
Yeah. Darius says the jogging is to commemorate the day he died. He died on 2/23, so people are running 2.23 miles. So to commemorate the day he died, I'm going to work on my cardio. I'm going to work on my cardio and get my calves and my legs right. I'm going to do leg day.
That's even more ridiculous. Yo, he's out work on my cardio.
I'm going to say this. I will say this. And I made this statement before, but I haven't said it in a while. Just because something is a part of the culture doesn't mean that it has to stay a part of the culture. There's been plenty of times historically, and you know this because you're a history buff, where leaders have come along and totally just decimated something that used to be existing and just said, man, stop with this fucking shit. We're not doing this no more.
Right. Right.
And one of the things that we have to do as a people, Black people are way too fucking ceremonial, and we're way too damn symbolic, and we need to get rid of that shit.
Yep. Yep.
That's me personally.
Indeed.
And that's a part of our culture, but it's a part of our culture we need to get the fuck rid of.
I agree. 1000%. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's very churchy and biblical, because most of the customs that you practice in the church are symbolic of something that you read in your holy book. And I have nothing against your holy book or your rituals, but then we carry that shit out in situations like this, where it could take a dose of reality. Instead, like the brother said, which I thought it was the amount of time, but that's even worse. So 223 is a day that he got killed. So what you niggas did is you broke it down into a compound fraction. I mean, it's 2.23 miles. And the thing is, I kept seeing this on Facebook, and I kept saying to myself, what do they mean 223? I don't get that. So my mind went to, are they saying that that's the amount of time he ran? Or did it take that amount of time for him to, like, I couldn't equate this. And now you're telling me it's the date, and they changed it from a fraction to an, oh my God, to an integer? That's what they did? So either way.
Leg day. Black man dies, I take care of my legs on that day. In honor of him, I'm going to be cut. When I wear my shorts, they're going to say, damn, that reminds me of fucking, what's his name? What the fuck is wrong with us, man? What is wrong with us?
Leg day.
Yeah. What is wrong with us? And did anybody see that video in the description box? Like, if you saw the video that I'm referring to, just type yes in the chat room. I'm bringing in your Moja.
With the dude, the what's it called? The dude with the dating description, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
The one who likes to take long walks and listen to the Isley Brothers and all that other shit.
You know,
no, for real though, y'all. No, go ahead and finish the minister. Go ahead. I just want to jump in.
Go ahead.
Cause peace, y'all. When I first seen the topic, and I was like, nope. I don't even want to talk about this shit. Like, I ain't lying to you. You laughing at me because you know I'm telling you. I was like, man, I love hearing my brothers, and all I'm gonna do is get fired up about some bullshit, right? And then I just tapped in. I just now got back from the store with my son, and I'm listening, and I'm like, see, this is exactly why. And then you start talking about symbolism, and I'm like, oh, all right. Now I just want to talk. And then you talking about jogging. I'm talking about literally, I seen some stuff about, hey, I did my jog. Did you jog? And I'm like, motherfucker. I'm talking about jogging, yo. You know how much work it is to do right now. But I don't know if you remember, just like last week though, how when we was talking, and I was like, well, people would do a little bit of organizing, a little bit of activism, be like, I'm doing my part. I'm doing everything that I need to do. I protested, motherfucker. You ain't doing shit. What have you? I was talking to my homegirl's daughter. She only 12, and I was like, "What you think about protesting?" And she was like, "Well, I think it does change." And I was like, "Okay, well, when somebody protests, what changes?" And she thought, and I was like, "Think about it," because she been to some, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, "So what changed?" And then I gave her examples, and I was like, "Well, think about this. When this person died, it was a protest. When this person died, it was a protest." And then I kept on naming, and she was like, and then I said, what changed? And she thought, mind you, she's 12, and she was like, nothing. I was like, exactly. There's a purpose for it, but you have to actually plan and organize and plot change. Fuck you mean, let's jog. And then people get excited. Oh, LeBron James talked about this guy, and then all of a sudden they in jail. And the fuck what? They should have been dead. Excuse me. I shouldn't say that. Excuse me. I didn't mean that. You straight up. I didn't mean that. YouTube and StreamYard. peace. But I'm just seriously though, like, you talking about, oh, when we come together, they'll get arrested. What are you talking about? You still in a place where tonight, where I'm at in motherfucking Portland, Oregon, I can go for a jog, and literally, if I'm wearing the wrong thing, somebody could see me just on one. Then listen to one of the same way we listening to BAIO and stuff that ain't about shit. Listening to some stuff that's literally saying we need to go with some niggers. We ain't just seriously though, like, that's out there, and they're really ready. Really ready. And it's just so troublesome for me though. Straight up, I'm like, it's so troublesome for me, and I really do love this shit, and I want to talk about this, but how we talk about it and how people just frame it is like, think about it. Let's go for a jog, and if you didn't jog, you ain't really holla. Dawood, if y'all didn't jog, I don't even want to talk to y'all because y'all ain't real. How about that? Hold on, some bullshit. If you didn't jog
if
at
your
the
legs
same
is not
time,
burning,
listen, you didn't do shit. You need to shut up. Y'all just talking. Y'all
Well,
just talking.
let me ask you brothers this question. So now, because of this situation, there was a so-called armed militia of black men that patrolled that neighborhood in honor of him. What do you think about that?
I think that this is great. But see, we in 2020. What I'm talking about is that same armed militia should not even be known or even present, but be sitting up there plotting like, no, we're an armed militia that's in this area. And we know, and even if we're not in this area, we know that it's some bullshit people up over in y'all area. So we want to make sure that y'all on point. So if ever something pops off in any, because you think that that's the first time something happened in that neighborhood, that city, that state,
right,
with some racism stuff. So it should be already plotted and planned. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm down for all of it. And that's what frustrated me as I was talking to my people where I'm at locally. Like, no, yeah, we can do that. We can get a gun club. But then what? No, we can educate the kids. And then what? We could teach the kids Swahili. And then what? We can go to the Capitol and go and talk to legislators. And then what? What are we going to do for ourselves? What are we going to do? Why don't we have our own? I'm talking about locally. How we talk about like having a black. I already know, but go ahead, please. Leg day. For real.
Leg day.
You see, you so childish. This is why I'm talking to you. This why I call you once every 2 months. I'm so stupid. You said leg day. You don't want the upside down triangle. Hit the legs too. Chest is nice. Chest is cute, but when you take off them drawers, I'm just saying, do some calf raises.
Yeah, no wonder you do those pull-ups because you ain't got no legs.
But it's so, but it's so easy. It's so easy to be like, no, man. If you ain't voting, you ain't doing nothing. I went to talk to I went to the schools and talked to the board. Yeah. How about just let's create our own schools? And then when they say no, nigga, you can't. Exactly. So let's go. That's where I try to go. Let's just get to the root. Y'all want to keep on beating around the bush, pussyfooting. Let's get to the root. Let's really try to do something. When they say, hold on, no, stop. Y'all doing way too much organizing. Y'all not doing that here. I.e. Greenwood, i.e. Tulsa. Y'all doing way too much. Y'all sitting up here doing deals with other nations in America? No, niggas. You still niggas. Right. And that's why we need to just go. But they don't want to talk about that. We just need to march, pray, protest, and jog. Now we need to jog. Man, now we need to jog too. Help as well.
Yo, and you know what?
Just trying to figure it out. Like, how much shit can we do and do these people accept us and love us?
And that's where it hit me one day, and I was like, man, we on some hamster wheel stuff since the 60s. Like in the 20s, you know what I'm saying, back in Reconstruction when we was really thriving. But once integration hit us, really since the 60s, literally been on some hamster wheel shit. Like going around in a circle and thinking that we doing something. Yep. Seriously, all they got to, just like when you said symbolism, that's that word. You didn't even say symbolism. You were like, we just like the symbols or something like that. And the first thing came to my mind, like, and we satisfied. We so easily pacified with like, I've been beat up so much. Once this dude kissed me and bring me some flowers, I'm in love all over again. Because all he do is whoop my ass and take my money. But damn, every now and then he might even cook dinner. I love this motherfucker, and that's us. Seriously. Y'all laughing because y'all know it's true, but seriously, and it's like, but look,
right, bro,
look around. Look around, though.
Hold up, bro. Let me add to what you're saying because you said something that I don't want to be lost, and it's perfect. To be patrolling around a gated community, that energy and that organization, because you know some people tend to clown those kind of brothers, the kind of brothers who are ready to give action, and I don't. Because I think that we need those kind of people just as much as we need people in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Absolutely.
That kind of energy, that kind of energy, though, could be used to secure us and our own thing. And that's the position that I think that I come from, that we all come from pretty much, which is
absolutely.
Does it make sense to? Oh, I'll give you an example. I remember, the groups before the '60s, like the Marcus Garvey movement, More Science Temple, Nation of Islam,
all of it, yeah.
Never did nothing like this in the public. You know what I'm saying? There was drill competition, but drill competition would be behind closed doors.
I understand.
This kind of stuff being in the public, this is a relatively new phenomenon. And I can remember, because my teacher was an old school dude, and he would always say, look, we're not going to do no drill competition in the public and things like that, because we were always taught, don't show military courtesy in the public. Like, I remember
why you on Facebook, Instagram showing all your guns and we doing training and everything, and it's 3 of y'all. Stop.
Exactly.
Anyway,
can I introduce an unpopular opinion?
Hold up, bro. Let me finish.
Shit.
Louis Crescent, peace to us. Good to hear Pan-African.
Let me just, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to shut up. I remember the first time I was over at Temple Number 7. It was in Harlem. It was at the National Black Theater, where most of the debates happened, but before it was Temple Number 7. But long story short, I remember I reported to the captain down there after like maybe 5 years, and I was a veteran, and I saw somebody salute him. I was like, bro, why did you let him do that? He was like, because that's what we do. I said, bro, we don't salute in the public. What are you talking about? He was like, well, bro, that was back in the day. This ain't today. I said, no, it's in your general orders. You don't salute in the public because, first of all, nobody's supposed to know you the captain, because if they know you the captain and they take you out, then you know.
Can you do know what you mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Can I answer that though? Because you ask your question now, because you was gonna ask a direct question, and that's what I was waiting for. But ask your question because I feel where you're coming from. But ask the question that you was talking, please. Brother could talk.
What question is? Oh, you talking about the Pan-African brother?
No, I'm talking about you have first started with a question, and then you gave me an example. And even without asking your question, I could just tell you, because now all about popularity. It's all about look at me. It's all about numbers. It's all about how can I get these niggas money. Seriously, and that's why when you say no, we need these people patrolling and everything. But when you really see people patrolling, it's somewhere where it's like Juneteenth or Luther King Day March.
Right.
Seriously though, it's not awesome. No, trust me, I have literally to the people even locally, and this just happened. What we gonna do? Oh man, I ain't no superhero. I ain't know what I'm doing then. But then when it's some black people that say anything, fuck this, blah 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 blah. It's like, wait a minute, how is this making sense?
Exactly.
I'm serious about mine. I'm so serious about my people. Mind you, my shortcomings is so long. It don't take you nothing but kick it with me for 30 minutes. You be like, this motherfucker emoji is off. Like, seriously, but when it comes to my people and actually getting away from this, man, I'm so sincere. So if I see you not talking about you are, and people looking at nothing to say to you, I just get angry.
No, you're right.
Seriously, but that's the thing though. It's just look at me. Yeah, I'm the captain. I ain't doing this. Man, stop. Just exactly. You said, why are you saluting in public? Why do you want to go in public and show? You just want to get up in a suit and look cute.
Exactly.
But on the ride, you don't want to talk. When it's time, let's just sit down and have a beer and talk about it. Shut up.
And what it also speaks to is when you're trying to, and I'm not saying that about these brothers, but I know that about those that I've seen in my past. What it speaks to is what you're trying to do is you're trying to, let's be very honest. What you're trying to do is you're trying to use your rank to get some pussy. That's what you're trying to do.
You pimping progressive Africanity.
Exactly.
That's all you doing.
Because
Africanity.
You're trying to show people that you're that, and they got to salute you. Really,
you don't even got to though. That's what you want. Shit, just be somebody different. Just be a playboy. Don't use the game.
Panhandling. They're panhandling. That's what we call it. The Prince of Panhandling. That's what we call it.
God damn.
So, big brother Pan-African, what was you going to say, bro?
Oh, I was gonna say, I agree with you guys about the dudes in public with the guns and stuff. I actually know, I know it's so funny out here. We have a dude, and his name is General Taco, and that dude, like, he had a bunch of dudes like training and stuff out in like Texas. They was really ready to go ride, I guess. But it was like it got like bad. You know, I heard about dudes like taking dudes' wives. Some dudes had like 5 wives. It was bad. It was really bad to the point where it all disintegrated. And like now all those guys hate each other. Now they're like mortal enemies. Like literally, like dudes thinking other dudes gonna kill them, and you know I can't go there. They gonna try to take me out, stuff like that. So you're right. But what I was gonna say about Armand, one of the things I think we have to understand is that it's no one. If someone kills your kid, right? It's no one's responsibility but the parents, right?
Yep.
Like we have this thing where it's like, oh, I don't give a shit about black people 364 days of the year. I don't give a shit about organizing or liberation 364 days of the year. But when the cops get my kid, I want all of you guys to come fight for me. And it's like, even if you look at old school societies, if someone took your kid, it was on the family to go avenge that person. I'm still wondering where the hell Trayvon Martin's daddy is at. Where's his uncles, cousins, brothers, all that, while George Zimmerman running around? If I see George Zimmerman, I wouldn't do shit, because you know why? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, the men in Trayvon Martin's family are cowards, and what's more important to them is America and the job that they work, and the car that they drive, and the clothes that they get to wear, and the Hennessy is more important. Because I wouldn't be able to live with myself if somebody just feel as though they could be comfortable to take my son's life because my son was black. I'm not about to sit up here and continue to live life after that. Somebody got to pay.
You know what's crazy?
Can I say something?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, bro. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You know what's crazy to me? This is the thing that I don't understand, and maybe somebody can make it, explain it to me. Black folks do a lot of crazy shit that put their life at risk. It's not like we afraid to die. Niggas will run up into a drug spot. You can get your head blown off. They'll do it and without any fear of dying. But when it comes to white folks, all of a sudden now we scared. Now death is something like is the death by a black hand different than death by a white hand? Like what happens?
It's not even fear.
Different?
We see.
It's not even.
Can I say something about that?
Y'all can speak on that.
I think it has to do with the fact. Yeah, for me personally, I think the problem is that, like you said, because we're not advocating for nationhood or because we're not nationalistic, many black people don't feel a need to defend anything. So when it comes to a black community, it's like there's no enforcement. So yeah, I'll do it to a black person. I don't fear any consequences. However, if you were to do that to white people, it's not going to be pretty. And that to me is just, it's thick and it's twisted. Because if it was any other community, like with Peter Liang, with the Asian community, they'd be furious. The Asian community ain't gonna let you come and do something to them without them doing something to you.
But you got black people still go to jail for killing other black people, so it damn sure ain't fear of the repercussions. What it really is there's nothing to gain from it for them. The problem with black people is not even that we're afraid. The problem with black people is we have no honor. We have no values anymore. Sorry, Emma. We have no values anymore. You ever saw the movie The Last Samurai? You
this motherfucker running from the police. He running from the police right now.
But have you guys ever saw the movie?
Please don't become another hashtag. Please don't become another hashtag. Please live, brother. Please live.
Right. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Last Samurai? Remember when those samurais charged those guns? They didn't have no guns. They knew they was gonna die. That was called honor, where you just ain't gonna let shit go down without you letting people know that you're willing to die for what's yours. Black people, if you told black people, if you gonna kill a pig, we gonna give you $1 million. You know how many people will be after this dude, these two who killed this dude? I mean, I've been to jail before where somebody will stab somebody for being a child molester. You don't know this dude. You don't even know if this dude's guilty. People be like, man, I want to get him. We chomping at the bit to go take somebody out, right? So it's not about fear, y'all. It's about honor. When when that person gets killed, we feel pain, like, oh, it's sad, but we don't feel like our honor has been offended or violated. Because if we felt like that, it would, you know, we would at least burn the motherfucker's house down or something. We just look at it like we're victims. So we look at the white man as the source of answers in like deliverance.
I think honor is a part of it, but the more important piece of it is lack of organization. We don't have any unified community. Like we don't have anything in place as a support system to enforce anything. It's a bunch of individuals.
Like I said,
It is. It
like
is.
I said,
You know.
It's just a bunch of individuals. So there's no, so
It's
you
one
know, you can go out there on some Mad Max shit if you want to, but you know that you out there on your own ass. You ain't got no back.
Word.
And that's what the problem is. It's like I said, and I don't want to say this stuff over the air, but we could take care of police brutality in a month.
But holla,
Really
this
a
the
day.
thing.
A
How
day.
organized?
hollow.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something real quick. It's the same thing. When I reached into the comment section and I was just like, if we ain't talking about nationhood and going back to Africa, I don't want to hear from you. And one person's response was, well, how are we gonna get there? And I said, this individualism is, oh my gosh, bro. This solo is,
How are
I
we gonna
can't
get
with
there?
it.
You know what really
It-
kills me? What kills me when I hear people saying, if you want to go to Africa, you running from the white man. Well, what are you doing, nigga? You right here. Since you're not
You
running,
scared
what
to
are you
get your
doing?
ass whooped.
No. But here's the thing. At least we're not running for 2.23 miles.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Hey, I'll be the laugh at it, but damn, man. Man, we know how to make a mockery out of this shit, man. We really do. They sitting back
No,
laughing at the people like,
Listen, if
it's
only the white man would get to know us, then he wouldn't call the cops on us.
That's what they want though. That's the whole thing. It's not even a
I'm a
like I don't.
Scorpio, man. I take long walks. I like Stevie Wonder. Why don't you understand? I listen to Led Zeppelin. How you gonna shoot me?
And that, hey, holla, and that's what I'm saying. Is it really organization? Okay, you know, when I was young, I was from
Yes,
a
it
gang,
is.
right? Wait, check this out. When I was young, I was from a gang, right? I got friends who are in jail for 30, 40 years right now for going to kill somebody over a girl, going to kill somebody over somebody killing a family member, whatever. We don't need organization for retaliation and vengeance. You don't need that because that's supposed to be something that's kind of instinctual. That's why you have all these blood feuds between all these different ethnicities all over the world. You kill one of theirs, they come back and get one of yours. The
I
reason
think
why we
it's a
can't stand up to the
reward.
white man is because we want his acceptance. We know that if we start going at white folks, they're not going to accept us. They're going to start looking at us like we're no longer worthy of them letting us assimilate. It's really just that. We don't want to mess up our opportunity to be accepted and assimilated into white society. That's it. These brothers, look, even when you speak against... Yeah.
Oh no, my bad. I'm sorry for interrupting. You can finish.
Okay,
Oh no,
so
it's similar to what happened in. Okay, it was similar to what happened in China. You had all these black people talking about what's happening to Africans in China. Well, they shouldn't be in China. They should go back to Africa. Why are you in China? And I'm just sitting here like, well, why can't y'all have the same energy in America? So you're telling Africans in China they can't be there. But when we say, okay, why don't you leave? You like, well, we built America. Hold up. You can't have the cake and eat it too. Either we all gonna leave and go back to the continent, or we not. But then if that's the case, then stop complaining. Stop complaining about this police brutality. Stop complaining about this. I'm not being accepted by white people. Because let me go back to Pan Africanism's point about what happened. Right, one white person killed an Indian person, an Indian American. Do you not know the Prime Minister of India responded and they were forced to apologize? See, other nations are not going to tolerate you touching their citizens. When their citizens get touched, oh, honey, there's world war.
Yo, she's calling you for real.
Well, those people understand that if you are doing stuff to Indians in America, there are Americans in India who they can do something to, and that was the problem. If Chinese are abusing blacks in China, why aren't blacks whooping Chinese people's ass in America, in Africa, all these places where Chinese people are at? Like I said, we looking at it because we want to be accepted into their societies, and we know that if we act violently or aggressively towards them, they might not let us be a part of their club. That's really all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with fear or, you know, lack of organization. It's just we always want to keep this avenue open where we can get in on their society. That's it. I'm not gonna hit you.
That's a part of it, but that doesn't exist in a vacuum. That's what I'm saying. Like the reason we don't come out of the womb like this shit. We just don't. This isn't some genetic problem. This is a social, economic, and political problem. You think you genetically engineered to come out hating black people? Like, as a matter of fact, if you read Amos Wilson's books, The Awakening the Genius of Black Children and African children are more advanced out of the womb than every other race. The only time we fall backwards is when we become socialized.
No, he running from you.
Right.
So this is all about socioeconomic and political control. If we don't have, we living in somebody else's fucking shit. Until we address that, all of these problems bleed from that. Like once you get that solved, all the other things are going to be solved.
Well, here's the thing.
We sitting up here in a burning fucking house, and we complaining about the goddamn couch on fire. It don't make no goddamn sense.
But if you look at the other races in America, Holla, those people are also living in somebody else's shit. But the difference is these people have little to no desire to assimilate into white culture. They have their own culture.
But you know why? There's a reason why. Because they got an option B. Thank you.
Yeah, they got nationhood. They got nationhood.
Right. So the point I'm trying to make is that the reason why we don't fight back white people is not because we're scared or anything like that. The reason why is because we want to be a part of them. It's like when you talk about liberation, you have to think, okay, what do the people want? And there is a great majority of us who want to be here. So they're going to always try to protect their interest in America. It's like my friend G. Oh, man, I understand that when I walk down the street, a white woman's going to be scared of me because I'm a big black dude, like speaking coonery, right? But it's because he likes America. He wants to be here. If 1,000 niggas get killed, he's okay with that. He's not going to say nothing to upset white supremacy.
I want to address that. I'm so over that. I'm so over that, and I'm so over that type of person. There's enough of a contingent of us that don't feel that way. What the fuck is our problem?
Right.
There's enough of us that see the bullshit, can analyze this shit backwards, frontwards, sideways, and what is our fucking problem?
Our problem is we don't want to die. We ain't giving our life up for no damn coons. Now, maybe for a person like you or for a person like me, yeah, we'll go to war. Let's do it. But I'm not giving my life up for some fucking asshole who won't even buy black, who won't even try to build a nation with me.
I'm not even addressing the coon.
No, I think I can answer that. It all comes down to pressure. And let me explain when it comes to that. When a black person, they did an experiment. When it was two black people, and the black person was totally individually thinking. The black person could choose between Romney or Obama. When there was no pressure and it was self-interest, the black person was willing to donate to Romney. But when the two black people had pressure behind them and they said, if you vote for this person or you do this, everybody will know about it and you will be dealt with. The person then chose the candidate that the group preferred. So what we have to do as people who are African Center Progressives and Black nationalists is we got to put a code that says, all right, you against nationhood, we're going to tell everybody here about it. And we're going to put pressure on you. So you can't live in the black community. You can't get in black circles. And then you're going to realize it's in your best interest to get your behind here. Because every other group does that exact same thing. Let a Jewish person say, I don't want the state of Israel to exist. Honey boo, them Zionists will come after your throats.
But how are we
Let a
gonna do
Muslim
that when the
person
majority
say,
of our people agree with those people who don't want to do nationhood?
Fuck the
Like,
majority of our people.
I get it, but
If we go into the majority of our people, we'll be here all fucking for the next 100 years talking about this shit.
right, but
I
we
tell you what I
asking
think.
questions about why the majority of our people ain't doing something, which we already know why they ain't doing the shit.
No.
I'm not asking questions
no,
about
I
the
think-
majority. I'm talking about the minority. The people that know what time it is the only people I'm talking about. I already
Exactly.
I don't even
see,
put pressure
right,
on the
but
masses anymore, because the masses is only doing what they supposed to be doing, trying to take care of themselves, and they ain't even worried about the shit we talking about right now.
Right.
See,
that really
let
is
me,
true.
let me speak to this point, and then I'm going to shut up pretty much for the rest of the night. Here's what I think from my background and from what I see. I don't think that the problem is that we try to reach the majority. I think the problem is out of the people who do accept the concepts of land infrastructure nationhood and nationhood in general, not enough of those people are actively trying to bring about nationhood.
Right.
So, in other words, if there was enough voices of people who actually accept and live nationhood, then it will become a reality. Because all you need is enough voices. And we have history on our side to prove that that's true. Because during the Garvey era, when you had people in every major city that had a strong following of Garvey, the majority of the people went that way. During the Moorish era, same thing. During the Muslim era, same thing. During the Black Panther era, same thing. What's happening now is we have this nationhood idea. It's just not enough people who are willing to stand on their pulpit and preach it. That's the problem to me.
Yep.
How many people do we need? The
I mean, that's
problem
the
is
truth.
the problem is we're not organized amongst ourselves. Like
let me
just us.
just say this. We all can do something. We all can start a channel, and we all can take our day and we can do what we need to do and say what we need to say. And you may reach somebody from your background. I may reach somebody from my background. Don may reach somebody from his background. But if none of us, if only 2 or 3 of us are willing to do this, we're not going to do shit. See, for me, I'm being very honest with you. I don't blame the average man or woman, average black man or woman for the condition that we're in. I don't. And the reason why is I always know that there's a 5% rule, which means that it's only really 5% of the people who are going to bring a change. Even white folks will tell you that there's a such thing as the 80-20 rule, which says that 80% of your customers is basically, or 80% of your revenues is produced by 20% of your customers. So there's always going to be a small percentage of something to bring about something. The problem is we ain't got that yet. And so therefore, instead of all of us doing what we can do, we are busy saying, how come everybody's not doing it? We don't need everybody. What we need is everybody that is already accepted it and has it in their heart. You decide that you're going to do something for nationhood. And that's, to me, I think, what's been on my good brother's heart for the last 6 months, Holla. Because notice when he does his live stream, time out, bro. I'm once I finish, you could talk all you want to talk.
Shut out of me.
So what?
I said y'all was interrupting me, but I'm not trying to interrupt you, but y'all was interrupting me. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that, but I thought it was okay.
It's all good. I'm just
yeah, I'm about to say it's good. You could have just told us, like I told you, like if you don't want us to interrupt. Yeah, it's good.
No, it's all good. I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't worried about it.
Bro, listen, you still my brother.
Let the wolf finish,
please. Let me just get my thought out.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Basically, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: is that for myself, what I know is that I can sit here. Well, let's just put it this way. I do a domestic violence class when we don't have a freaking pandemic. And when I do my domestic violence class, I graduate a good amount of people a year, 30 to 50 people a year. And out of those people that I graduate, most people don't go back to hitting women. But guess what? Every once in a while, I see an article of some stupid ass nigga that decided to kill some chick or do something crazy like that. And I can't worry about that Because as long as I've reached some people who say, Daoud, I swear I came to your class, brother. I didn't want to come to your class, but you made it easy for me. And now, because you've done that, I got my family back. I'm with my children. Those are the people that I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to focus on the people that was old. I wish I didn't have to attend the class, and then they go back and they smack some girl up, or they smack their lady up, or their mother up, and they end up in jail, because that would depress me. And I've gone through the depression of not reaching black people. Trust me when I tell you, before I reached the BAIO, I was in a very dark time when it came to my black African advocacy, because I had thought that black people on the whole gave up, and that conscious community did nothing to stop that depression. But once I found the BAIO, I realized that there's a small percentage of people can make a great change. The problem that we're having is those small percentages of people are on the fence or on the bench and haven't gotten the game yet. So all I'm saying to all of you good brothers and sisters out there today is, fuck the average person. What about you? And I'm saying, as I say, what about you? I say, what about me? What can I do on the website? What can I do on, you know what I'm saying, on my radio show? What can I do to promote nationhood? And as long as we're asking that question, these people who cry because of this and these people who allow people to kill their children, they become less relevant. And what becomes more relevant is Umoja's channel or Dom's channel or Darian's channel or Holland's channel. And that's what I think that we need to really focus on, in contrast, because we can humiliate black people all day. But at the end of the day, it's really us, because we are going to be the ones charged with the message. They are going to be the ones that are going to say, damn, y'all knew all of this and y'all didn't do shit for us. And we would say they'd be ungrateful, but in reality, it really is true. We are the ones who much is given, much is required, and we're the ones with the responsibility. And that's it. I'm off my soapbox.
Can I sum up what you just said?
Yes, sir.
The people saying nothing is happening are the same people doing nothing to make it happen.
Right.
Hey, facts. And Mr. Dawood, can I attest to that personally? I had been advocating this, like I said, since really early 2015 when I was a freshman. It was sophomore year in high school. And I was always just like, we need to go back to Africa, especially knowing the history of the Back to Africa movement. And it wasn't until 2017 that I really started to kick off on this Back to Africa nationhood narrative and getting into the Black nationalist thoughts and theories. And so I started doing that in college campuses. And I started sharing the BAIO with some of my friends. As Hollop already knows, I had 2 people that signed up. I have another person who's willing to sign up for the BAIO. And I put it in group chats. I put it in my story. I shared videos. One of my friends, she was excited about Hollop's African Diaspora Fund. So there are a lot of people that are willing to have it. And these are young people. These people are 18, 19, 20, my age. But it's got to be that person who knows about it and is willing to share about it and is willing to do it. And I remember getting a comment, and he was just like, well, you put yourself out there. And at first, I got very nervous because I'm just like, I don't want myself out there. But then I realized, I said, Darius, if you really want nationhood, you're going to have to put yourself out there.
Right.
People are not going to know about this if you don't put yourself out there. And that's something that I take. So I do it all the time. No matter whether or not it's on comments on YouTube videos, I'm always talking about nationhood. And it's starting to have a ripple effect. One of my friends came to me in a message and he was like, Derry, it's really coming down to 2 points, like you said. Either we do this, either things happen here, or we have to go back home to the continent. And I was just like, yeah, I've been advocating for that. So it's starting to get there. It's just we have to do it.
Yep.
I just want to speak from a position where I feel like when it comes to organizing, I feel like I have a little bit of a little bit of authority on that situation, because I was a person before all this, I was a Jehovah's Witness, right? And I remember that when I was a little kid, Jehovah's Witnesses were meeting in a little tiny small theater for their convention in Leimert Park. Now, if you come to where I live in LA, these dudes are renting out convention centers every single weekend for the entire summer just to house all the people they have based on that religious message. When you look at organizing, there are certain things that you have to be doing to make that organization grow. One of the things I feel like these movements lack is the fact that we spend a lot of time talking about people who aren't going to do anything. And we also believe that there are people who are with us who really aren't with us, right? Because if we said right now, yo, we about to buy a house in an African country and just have that as like the safe house where anybody who go out that way can go there and chill and just be good, right? How many people are going to donate to that, right? But if I go to the Jehovah Witness convention and say, hey, we about to go, we just need a bunch of money from y'all, give us something. They're going to get a bigger donation than we're going to get for something that we all say that we need, right? That's all it is. You got to find it's all about the tip of the spear. There's always going to be a few people who are down to do whatever it takes. And then from those people, you grow. Right now, we got a bunch of people who are just tag-alongs. They're hanging out, but they're not really committed to the situation. And I'm just really waiting for really some direction like, yo, we're going to do this. And this is something tangible that we can do right now. Not we need to do this in 20 years or this has to happen. And it's a big lofty idea. What can we do day to day? Because when I was Jehovah's Witness, they constantly gave you Watchtower and Awake magazines. They told you read this book daily to fortify your faith in God, right? And they had daily activities we could do to keep us attached. What are we going to produce that where our people can be daily involved in this Pan-Africanism? What are we going to produce where our people can be daily engaged in what we're talking about? And it clearly ain't YouTube. Well, YouTube videos, yeah. But if we got to do that in a disciplined way, not just one video every 5 days or every 2 months, it's got to be something that they can gravitate to. Because if they have nowhere to go, they're not going to leave where they're at. It's just never going to happen.
Dumb. Give me your thoughts, good brother. Are you still there, Dom?
I think Dom is on mute.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to address what he just said.
Go ahead.
I think that I've addressed this so many times, but I'm going to address it again. You can bullshit everybody else, but you can't bullshit yourself. Every person that listens to these broadcasts, every person is here or going to the BAIO website and read the About Us section. Every person that listens to the live streams, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? Because everybody has like it's like if you're sitting back waiting for instructions from who?
Right.
There's people that got the ask Kexia if she need instructions to come into the BAIO.
Listen, leadership is necessary for everything. You can continue to act like leadership is not something that's necessary, but every single organization that ever was anything had a leader.
Let me make it
because
personal.
People don't know what to do.
Let me make it personal. Let me make it personal. Since you know what the problem is, what are you personally doing to solve it?
I just started an investment fund where we're buying property in Africa and we're either holding on to it or flipping it for more money. I got freaking 3 apartments in Africa. What am I doing? I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Your channel I listen to when you post. I got other channels I listen to.
Maybe you didn't hear what I said. So let me ask it again.
Okay.
We're talking about the BAIO as an organization.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
Personally to solve this problem that you say exists?
What I'm doing for the BAIO is right now I have a house. I'll send you pictures and everything of it. There's a house in Kenya. I want to try to buy this house and I want to make that like a BAIO safe house. Like if y'all go out to Africa, y'all have a place where y'all could go. Y'all don't got to worry about, food. Don't got to worry about where you're going to stay. All these things. I want to put a base over there. That house could be the base of the BAIO in Africa, where we run all operations for the BAIO out there from that place. I'm working on that right now with this guy, Ty, African Investment Guide. I'm trying to get that house. It's like $100,000 and I'm actually trying to put half down on it. And I was going to tell you guys like, yo, if you guys need that, that's y'all. Y'all could get the keys, whatever. But until then, I have 3 apartments. If y'all want to go out there for a reason and do something, feel free for free. And I charge for those on Airbnb, but for you guys, it's free. I'm always working, brother. I'm working for you even when you don't think I'm working for you. Just like I know you working for me when I don't think you working for me. I just can do what I can, but I'm going to do something. Now, what else do you need me to do? If you tell me what you need, then I can do that. But you didn't tell me what you need, so I do what I do.
I think if you've been listening to me, you know exactly what I need. Where do you live?
I live in LA.
Okay. Are there people in LA in the BAIO?
There's a couple of people on the site. The Quellism dude, I think he's on there. Or he might have left, but I've been actually telling people about the BAIO site, and I just got unblocked off of social media. I was blocked on every social media. They just unblocked me, and I was gonna start posting like different videos, things like that, because I'm done with Facebook and all that. I will use my platform to spread your message.
I just want to be clear what I'm doing right now. I'm not attacking you. I'm not telling you that you're not doing anything. But what I'm saying is this. The answer to the problems is for people to get involved. There's no way around it. If you sit back waiting for some leader, like the leader to come along and say, all right, I commanded you to get the fuck out of here. We done been through that. Niggas need to start getting involved. If you want nationhood, you need to get involved in nationhood.
Holla, I'm just telling you from my experience with people. I have a lot of experience with people.
So do
people are sitting down waiting for instructions. That's what people do. Is
those people I don't want.
Do you remember the book Julius Caesar? The crowd, the mob is fickle. That's talking about the masses. The masses can be pushed in any direction, but you have to push them.
I'm not talking about the masses.
Hey, holla.
Yo.
Y'all hear me? Yeah, I'm back. I'm at work, so that's why I didn't say nothing. But I agree with Holla, and I hear with the other brothers saying that people are waiting for leaders, and it's played out at this point. We don't need those type of people, because those people lazy and don't want to do nothing, and then when things don't go their way, they're going to be pointing at you. Yep. And it's the same story, and it keeps going. It's like this been going on for like what, 70 years now. I got men that's older than me telling me that we need black leadership, and I'm not trying to be offensive to nobody, but my G, are you a leader in your family?
Of course I am.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the people that's saying that we need leadership, and I don't even see them leading anything that they got going in their life. We just need to work together. And what you said you was doing is like, that's the best thing. So if I wanted to go to Africa, I'm gonna reach out to you, and
have you guys like everything that he said is good. I'm not going against that. What I'm saying is this, and it's real simple. I've accepted this, that if a small percentage of our people, because that's all I'm really looking for, 5% out of the whole fucking population, if these people don't want to have anything of their own, then the bottom line is we're not going to have it.
Holla,
a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's exactly what it is. If you're sitting back waiting for somebody to do something, and you're going to sit back and watch that person twisting the winds for you, then we ain't getting nowhere, because we've done that. We've been there, done that 1,000 fucking times.
Holla, the problem is your followers are not qualified.
I don't have followers.
Listen to what I'm just hear me out. Please hear me out. You don't got to listen to me no more. Hear me out. On my YouTube channel, I have a video called "So You're Ready to Lead, but Are You Qualified to Follow?" When you deal with black people, all black people feel like they know everything. They feel like they have a solution, right? They're not qualified to follow anything. They're not, whether you're not the leader or what, but just the motto or the mission statement of the BIO. The people who you're appealing to are not actually qualified to do what you're asking them to do. Now there are some, very few, like me.
Whoa, hold on. The people I'm asking to do what are not qualified to do what?
When you look, whatever you're asking people to do, right? As far as nationhood, to do? Which basically all you're asking them to do is to promote the BAIO and promote this idea of nationhood for people who black Africans living in America, creating a nation in Africa.
And
right now, at this stage, you're asking them to promote.
They're not qualified to do that?
They're not. They're not, Holla. And you want me to tell you why? Because it's like this. Let's play remember the game Telephone? you can start one message, and by the time you get to the end of the room, it's something totally different, right? So all you will basically do is create a bunch of people who will try to explain your message, but they inevitably will distort your message, even to the point where where it sounds undesirable, right? In order to spread a message, you have to train people how to do that. I'm telling you, as a person who was a Jehovah's Witness who did this for 20 years, we trained people. That's what the meetings were, just training so people can accurately convey our message to other people. And when we worked on the accuracy of the message when it's conveyed, that increased the numbers from dozens to thousands. The message has to be accurately conveyed. That means you have to teach people how you want them to convey the message. And I know it sounds kind of totalitarian. It sounds kind of crazy, dictatorial, but that's the reality of spreading any type of ideology.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about how I can simplify it more than land, infrastructure, nationhood.
Don't even simplify it. Just get the brothers who are ready, and you commission them, and you tell them, you validate them, you vet them and validate them, and say, look, brother, this is your job. I need you to create a chapter in this city, and I need 20 people in 6 months. And you find a brother who can do that, and that brother takes that on and makes it personal, and he does that. This is the same method Delzino Debriano, the dude over the Black Bible movement, he has a guy out here. His name is like Ed or something. Man, this dude calls me every freaking day, and I ignore his calls, but he's calling me every day for 2 years, trying to get me to become a member of this Black Bible movement. It's a MLM, a multi-level marketing. When you think of Herbalife and all this shit, those people are oppressing you to the point where it's annoying. But look how many soldiers they're gaining by doing that, because they're trained and they take it personal because they think they're going to make some money. Now, you can get people to take things personal even if they're not going to make a penny, but you have to train them to pass your message the way you want it passed. And I'm telling you that I love you. I love all y'all. And I'm telling y'all that from experience. If you don't do that, you're just spinning your wheels. No one's going to just jump on anything and do it like the way it needs to be done to grow it unless you train them. Even at IHOP, they train you. McDonald's, they train you. You guys got to start training people, even if it's in the form of videos. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. Somebody called me.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Minister dropped off. Umoja dropped off. So it's just me and you and Dom and Darius.
Yeah.
Darius is there. But yeah, you don't need training to share a link. I'm not, you know what? I am so low maintenance when it comes to this stuff. I'm not asking nobody for a quart of blood. Share a fucking link. You know, well, how much qualifications do you need to share a link? To push the content. How much because if that's what if we can't do the bare minimum of that, then we might as well give this fucking shit up, man. Because you're talking about taking people over to the overseas to the continent, and you can't even share a link, or you can't understand the concept of land, infrastructure, nationhood. Maybe somebody else. If there's a teacher that needs to do it, it needs to be somebody that ain't me.
Right.
Because I can't do that shit.
Right.
I refuse to do it. I've been preaching this stuff for over 10 years on YouTube. I've touched on every fucking topic known to man. I ain't teaching nobody shit. So if somebody wants to take on that mantle and teach people how to, this is how you explain land infrastructure, by all means do it, but it ain't gonna be me.
I mean, even if you
have
don't.
to be and I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it real. You got to be a fucking moron. If you listen to my content, you listen to the BAIO in any way, shape, or form, and you don't know how to explain land infrastructure, nationhood, then you are fucking too incompetent to be a member.
Well, then we gonna have a small army, and we need to move with precision.
I'm
if that's
glad
the case.
that we have a small. I would rather have a small army of competent people than a bunch of fucking morons. Awesome. So we got the round table or what? Because where's that? Let me know what you need me to do.
Because I'm ready. I'm young. I can work.
Whatever your skill set is, you can apply it within the BAIO. Nobody has to tell you to do anything.
Okay. Well, I'm doing what I'm doing, so that's available to you, brothers, and I'll let you know if I get this.
And I appreciate
this spot,
it.
You know,
I appreciate it.
But
but what the message should be, other people need to start doing that shit too.
All right.
If you believe in this concept of nationhood, then you need to it shouldn't be a fucking secret. I can say that I'm for nationhood in the middle of my office at the job that I work at and not be afraid to say it. Why? What am I saying is wrong? I'm making myself a target because I'm saying my people should have power.
No, what you're doing is you're making yourself.
How dare you say that your people should have any type of social, economic, political? But I wish somebody would say that shit to me.
What you're doing is you're making yourself a leader. Like, people don't understand. Leadership is not something that you choose to take. People make men leaders. Look at George Washington. Those dudes were like, hey, we want to make you king. That dude was like, nah, I ain't gonna be king. I'll be a president though. The first thing they wanted to do was get away from one king and make another dude king. This is how people look. When you get on here talking, powerful, eloquent, you know what I'm saying? And you breaking it down to people start looking at you as a leader, whether you like that or not. And I understand that, but that was me.
I'll say this. Babies want to get picked up. I ain't picking your ass up. Walk. I don't have no ego in this. I don't want to be no fucking leader. I don't want nobody looking at me like I'm goddamn special. I'm not special. My conclusions that I come to, I'm a regular dude from the projects in Brooklyn. I'm not no goddamn scholar. I'm not highly educated. If I can come to these conclusions, why can't anybody else do it?
Because people is just too distracted. I think people are distracted, man.
Well, then I'm willing to live with that. If people don't want this shit, then it won't happen. Well, that means each of us individually got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves individually so that when we don't become martyrs for some non-existent cause.
Well, we need to make sure that we can at least retire in Africa, and not when we 80, but when maybe we like 45, 50. We need to make sure we can go there.
This is my thing. All of the people that's on this line right now, I believe are of like mind. So what the fuck we talking about? We should be talking amongst each other and building with each other. End of discussion. Who gives a fuck about Negroes?
I don't.
But yet we always bringing Negroes into the conversation. I don't give a fuck about Negroes. What I care about is people of like mind. What are we doing?
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's listening to this live stream. I'm asking you, the person that's listening, what are you doing to push this land infrastructure and nationhood thing forward? Have you reached out to any? Well, let's start with the basics. Have you signed up to the fucking website? Have you done that? And if you signed up to the website, have you reached out to anybody that's in your area? Or if you find out that there's nobody in your area, have you tried to get people from your area to come and be a part of the BAIO? What are you doing personally in regards to doing this thing? In regards to land infrastructure, nationhood, are we going to just sit back and bitch, moan, and complain about white people all day? Is that fucking simple to me?
I mean, I think you can't beat a system without a system. It's like we're trying to do. It's like we go. It's like we're trying to develop
a system. A system doesn't just exist out in the atmosphere by itself. A system has to be developed by people. People have to participate in it.
So what you're doing right now,
you can't even create this. If we need people with certain skill sets that we don't we have to get them?
I know, but what you're doing, Caleb, what you're doing right now is you're trying to go against an NBA basketball team with a pickup basketball team.
No, I'm not trying to. I think you're entirely missing the point if you think that that's what I'm trying to do.
No, I'm saying
I'm dealing with the simple shit. We cannot play against no professional team if we don't even have a team.
Right.
So how are you going to get a team if everybody's sitting on the fucking sidelines?
That's true.
This is a no-brainer. This is real simple. I don't even think that me and you are even having an argument, to be honest with you.
No, I wouldn't.
I really don't. I really don't. I think that you're saying the same thing that I'm saying. It's just that I'm focusing on one particular aspect of it more. Everybody wants to sit back and watch a leader twist in the wind because then it takes the pressure off of them. They don't have to be involved because they can look at you and watch you be involved.
Right.
So, that's why the discussion in our community is always about who's real and who's not. Who gives a fuck? I don't care about no individual more than I do the collective. I don't care about Tariq Nasheed one way or the other. I don't like him or I don't dislike him. He's irrelevant. All of these, any nigga that you name is a black talking head. I could give two shits about them. I don't care whether they real or they not real. I don't care if they faking or they not faking.
Right.
Because what we need to be concentrating on is principles and not people.
Right.
If we stop looking at stop looking at me or anybody like they're the be all end all. Look at the principles of the organization: land, infrastructure, nationhood. That's the principles. Concentrate on that and stop concentrating on individuals. Because it's a lot of people, everybody I know, like, and I hate to be blunt like this, but niggas like getting their dicks up. If you got 1,000 tongue on your joint, you ain't gonna be like, oh no, stop it, y'all, you're doing too much. You're gonna sit back and enjoy that shit. That's just how people are. I don't need that, man. I don't need that. We need to start getting, these babies need to start fucking walking.
Holla, even if you go into a McDonald's, they at least got a manager. They at least got somebody who's kind of.
McDonald's is an organization. So yeah, they got a manager.
That's what you're trying to build. An organization.
And the way that you build it is by getting people to be involved. Like I said, we're going in circles. You're saying the same thing that I'm saying.
Right.
There's no argument. We have to have people involved. If you're not involved, there ain't going to be no manager. There ain't going to be no organization. There ain't going to be nothing. Everybody wants to, it's like nothing exists within a vacuum. The reason why other nations are organized or more unified than we are is because they have a structure. We're just a scattered group of individuals. And everybody wants to say, we should do this and we should do that. There's no motherfucking we. What I'm trying to do is put it in people's mind that we have to create the we. And the only way we can create the we, can we at least have a fucking consensus that this place ain't the place for us?
I hope
if we can have a
everybody here
consensus
agrees
on that, if we can have a consensus on that, when we talk to people, then say, hey, since you agree with that, there's an organization called the BAIO that believes the same thing. We need people to come in and push that concept. We're not trying to make America great again. We're not trying to do it right here. We think we need socioeconomic and political power off the shores of this country. That's our principles. That's what we're about. So if you're about that same thing, then you should have absolutely no problem signing up with us and communicating with us and networking with us.
Right.
Because the only way we're going to form an organization, we need people who have skills. Don't we need lawyers? Don't we need accountants? Don't we need people in marketing? Don't we need people to do administrative work and clerical and stuff? Don't we need people to do this shit? You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
if you're skilled, if you're a lawyer, if you're a black person that's listening to this live stream and you're a lawyer, we need you. Sign up to the fucking site. If you're an accountant and you're listening to this live stream, we need you. Sign up, bring your skills to the table. I can't build fucking bridges. I don't have a fucking clue how to do that shit. So that leadership is just, I can't get with that, man, because what does that mean? That you're going to sit back on your hands and wait for somebody to tell you to get involved if this is something that you believe in? And I'm not even talking about the masses. I'm talking about the people that get on Facebook and pollute my timeline with this black shit 24/7. What is your end game? What are you doing that shit for? Or is it just a misery circle jerk? We have the infrastructure in place where we can have people of like mind get involved. But if everybody wants to do their own thing, then what's the purpose? What's the point of having a collective anything? At some point, we have to collectively deal with this problem. At some point, this individual shit is poison to our system. But unfortunately, I understand it because we don't have a support system. So you can't have it both ways. If we don't have a support system, you can't expect people to make these sacrifices for the collective. They gotta look out for themselves. But it's like this self-perpetuating prophecy. It's like we keep doing this shit, nothing's ever going to get done collectively.
Holla, I don't mean to interrupt you, but have you ever considered this idea that our people are coming out of a certain way of thinking and doing things, right? So when you ask them to do something that's drastically different from what they usually do, you're gonna have a lot of this, like where they're kind of standing around and they're like, they're caught in between places, right?
Well, it's called the learning curve. They got to get used
learning
to
curve.
it. I'm not sympathetic in any way, shape, or form to that. I'm not. I'm at the point now where maybe it's because I've been doing it for a while and I just don't. My patience has just completely run out. I'm not really sympathetic to those type of people. If there's a person that's on the fence, you know what I'm going to ask them? Are you think that black folks can do it right here? You want to be an American? And if they answer yes, well, then that's the problem. Bye. I'm not going to have no long conversations or worry about that. But if it's a person who says, nah, we can't do it right here, we need to have our own, well, I can talk to that person. And 9 times out of 10, that person don't need instructions from me, because all of the people who signed up and all the people that's in this live stream, they didn't need no instructions from me. They know what this is about. Like the black Mr. Wilson, he's been doing broadcasts and stuff. Nobody asked him to do it. He did it because that's what he felt he needed to do to push the concept forward. We need less people on the sidelines giving instructions and more people getting in the fucking game. It's that simple. And that's not even an argument point, because I don't think that you'd even disagree with me on that. Did I lose you?
No, I don't disagree with you. I agree with you 100%. My only thing is, I believe that there's a way to, balance the two. And I believe that just everyone's not qualified to do everything. And I just think that we probably just need somebody who's like a PR person, like a person who's not, so, kind of battle worn, that they're willing to still, exhaust
can you get
different
somebody
avenues.
for us?
I mean, hell, I'll be that person. Hey, until I find somebody, I'll try to be that person. You know what I'm saying?
You got the job.
Fuck it.
You got the
Why
job.
not?
See?
Because I'm a young dude. I got energy.
See? We settled the problem. You got the job.
Yeah, I already made up my mind to do that before you told me. But I'm just telling you, everybody's not like me. I'm also invested in this, and I'm a person who's a self-starter. That's what you're looking for, self-starters. Everybody ain't a self-starter.
I know, and those people I'm not interested in.
Right.
At this stage of the game, we need people that's proactive, self-starters, people that don't have to be told what to do. And like I said, at this particular point, I'm not even asking for them to draw blood or to give me a semen sample. I'm asking for you to share a goddamn link and join the website. I'm sorry, in no universe is that a problem, unless you're just not down with the concept. If you're not down with it, then it totally makes sense why you wouldn't sign up to the website. Totally makes sense. But if you're saying that you're down for this, you're down for land infrastructure nationhood, and you believe that we should have a nation of our own, and you believe black people should have socioeconomic and political control over their reality, it makes absolutely no fucking sense why you are not down with the BAIO.
True.
And I have no patience to try to figure out why. That's where I'm at. I'm on some fuck you shit right now. Oh, I thought Darius was in.
Darius.
I'm sorry,
Nah,
I'm
I've been
too
sitting
busy
here for the
talking.
last. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's no problem. I'm a really patient person, so
Am I making any sense?
I wait for the right time. You're making a lot of sense. I'm more of like Pan African to speak that, so I'll be that person that teaches and explains it. I have a lot of patience. I've been through a lot, so I have a lot of patience. So if you don't need to do it, I can take up that mantle. I have no problem doing that role.
Please
I
do.
do it all the time, so
Please do.
don't
We
worry
need we
about it.
need
People
we
ask me
need
all the time.
a lot of voices, a lot of people, because if you have a lot of voices talking this, they can't just attack one person.
Oh no, they can't.
They can't make it seem like this is a hollop thing or this is the woo thing. If everybody's talking about it and everybody's pushing it and everybody's promoting it, then it can't be it's like you take out one of us, it doesn't even matter. Because everybody, I'm telling you, the concept there's a lot of people who have this philosophy that the people need leaders, so I guess I gotta do it. I mean, what can I say? I mean, they need a leader, so it might as well be me. It's a lot of people that do that shit, and it's for ego. It ain't got nothing to do with this is the most effective way to organize. No, it's you want your ego stroked, and people are willing to stroke it. I don't give a fuck about that. This thing has to live on way past me. And if you don't meet and if the people don't have that philosophy, you're not fit to be a leader.
Holla, that's the thing. That's exactly what makes you the person who for the job. The fact that you're not just thinking about, you're not Farrakhan. Oh, I'm gonna hold on to leadership till I'm freaking 120 years old. You're like, this don't end with me. I'm not where this stops. I'm not the end all be all. You understand that. That's the difference between a good leader and a bad leader. Whether you accept it or not, bro, you're technically the leader. Like, even me, I'm looking at you like, this dude's the leader. He could keep saying he's not, but he really is. Because even I'm looking at you like, yo, whatever this dude's saying, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fall in line. Now there are a lot of people like that. So leadership is just not something you could throw away. It's not something you could pick up. It's people. If people look at you as that, that's what you are. Now you don't have to acknowledge that and just be like, I'm gonna still operate like I do, and y'all just follow my example. You still leading by example, which is a form of leadership.
I'll accept that. If leading by example is what's needed, then I'll do that.
Yeah,
I don't accept the leadership role, because once you accept that, then people start looking to you for instructions, and they then sit back and well, he didn't tell me what to do. Now, fuck that shit.
Right.
But also, I think you have to understand there's different types of leadership. So hold up is what an example would be a laissez-faire leadership, which is hands-off approach. People do their own thing. People do whatever. But some people don't have that. Some people have a charismatic leadership or a bureaucratic leadership or an autocratic leadership where one person makes a decision. So it's ultimately it goes by by case basis. So an example for me is I'm willing to take leadership role. I'm willing to give instructions, plan, do this if I have to. I do whatever it takes to get the job done. And if it falls on me, it falls on me. I'll take the responsibility. I'm starting to look at it from if this nation comes into fruition, we're going to have a president, or a monarch or whoever, and that person is going to lead the country. That person is going to lead the nation. So therefore, I have to get mentally ready for taking on that role. What am I going to do? What's going to be my agenda? How do I convey this to people? Do I need to put a social media person, a marketing person? I may not have all the knowledge, but I will have some general knowledge. So I'm not uneducated, but I have some knowledge to where the experts can give me further analysis. That's honestly how I see it, because there's not a one size fits all. And I think if you have a one size fits all approach, then it's disastrous. Like me, I see myself as the youth wing of it. So I see myself as you've been advocating this for about 5 years, 3 years at the most, at the hardest. You've been to the continent, you've studied at the continent. Now you have to take that mantle and lead it. I've changed some people's minds, I've convinced some people. But that's what I do, and I do that whenever I'm on my college campus, other people's college campuses, some people still in high school. I'll take that, man, and I'll take that responsibility. I have no problem doing it.
That's cool. We need people like that. We need people like you. You know, because
And
more like
Holla, you know,
people have to be involved, man. There's no way around it. No way around it.
hey, can I tell you something that's funny? If you look at true leadership is really not even the person who's the best person at doing anything. If you look at the way the United States and these different countries choose their leadership, it's really all the guys who are self-starters putting one guy in the figurehead position of leadership. They're like the United States. Donald Trump is not the leader of the United States. The leader of the United States is the Congress and the Senate. He's just the fall guy. He's just the guy who they get to blame when their leadership mistakes fail the people, right? And we have to get that. We got to get that like mental when we talk about this organizing. You don't have to be the leader per se, but promote another leader. Like, hey, this guy's going to be the leader, but the whole time you still working hard. I'm still working hard. All the workers are still working. And then you could, that's why they do that thing where they switch out the president every 4 years, because they're like, yo, we can just change it. That's how we keep control. Don't give them enough time to, plant any real roots with the people, and we'll just stay in control. Those guys are the ones who've been in charge 20, 30, 40 years. The president only be in charge 8 years max. So I'm just saying, if we really break it down to what makes things successful, there's a lot of like the engines are always working, but the true leaders never really reveal themselves, at all. They actually just let you think that one person's leading while they're driving the system that they want to exist. And I just thought that was funny, like, it
But
related.
but it's also but it's also initiation. For me, the biggest thing, not just me teaching, but people initiating it. So Hall Up doesn't have to tell me to go share it with my friends. I took that on my own initiative to tell them, hey, sign up. This is what the BIO is for. Sign up if you're interested. He didn't have to initiate that. And I think that's what we have to teach future leaders, or for me, teaching future leaders is initiating. Don't wait for me. I want you to initiate it. So you tell me an idea of what we should do. You tell me, hey, what country we should go to, so that you feel like you are also in the driver's seat. Because, you both have similar points. They overlap each other. So, like Holub said,
Hey,
you need people who take the initiative, because most people are more likely to participate in an organization if they feel involved. Many people don't want you to tell them what to do in an org. So if I tell you, you do this, you do that, you feel like you're a robot. You're not being a part. At the same time, as a person who is orchestrating that, it is my job to be the survey. So I'm the one who keeps the ship, makes sure everybody's doing all right, but they're doing their parts. So everything overlaps. It's not an either or. We have to look at things as they overlap each other. And that's the same thing when it comes to these whole situations, to the original topic with the Aubrey case. Um, People don't understand how the need for nationhood and police shootings and racism overlap each other. We're being murdered, we're facing brutality.
hey,
Nationhood
Rich.
overlaps with that. Oh,
What's that, a dog?
nationhood overlaps with that. Yeah, I think that's a dog. Is it?
Oh, he put himself on mute, so I guess something's going on.
Now, one of y'all
Okay.
dogs need to be quiet.
I don't have a dog.
I'm just fucking with you. It was my dog. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, like they overlap. And once we understand how things overlap, then I think that's when we'll really start to understand. Or we really start to take off.
Can I respond to that comment on there? Actually, the leader is the military industrial complex. Yeah, the military industrial complex is the leader. But if you have any knowledge of the government that rules you, you'll notice that the majority of the people in the position of powers have served in some way or form in the military. Look at Tulsi Gabbard. Look at all these people. Back in the day, you couldn't even get elected if you hadn't served in the military. And so now the complex is changing. It's going from military industrial complex to like this neo-colonialism, or like this like basically neo-colonialism, where it's a lot of layers. But yes, that's who's in charge. But guess what? Even the military industrial complex have people who are leading that and in charge of it. Well, who the hell you think who do you think Colin Powell is? Who do you think all these different generals, general this, general that? They're leaders, and they actually control stuff. Some of those dudes have more pull than the president.
Well, I would actually, for the military industrial complex, I'd actually say corporations, because it's the corporations who make the equipment. The military just gives them the money, but it's the corporations that build the planes, build the fighter jets, build the destroyers, the frigates. So to me, the generals are just buck dancing to the corporation. This is the corporation.
No.
I mean,
what is the term limit on a 4-star general? If you tell me what's the term limit on a 4-star general?
I mean, none. You have to go up the ranks.
Exactly.
Decades.
Exactly. So you know who's running things based on who can't get put out of office. Just like Supreme Court judges. Those are the people who really run the country, because there's no term limit. Nobody can come unseat them. They're there for life. I mean, the president could fire a general, but but you hardly ever see stuff like that happening. The generals are the ones who are running the military industrial complex. That's why you never hear about them, and they don't have any term limits. The judicial system, they don't have any term limits, and you rarely hear about them. The person who's truly in charge is the person who you never hear about. They're controlling things from behind the scenes. The justice system still arrests corporation owners, period. A person who Jeff Bezos can still go to jail if that judicial system decide, look, we locking his ass up. If that military industrial complex say, look, this dude, we want to get rid of him, they still could send that wet squad to take him out. These are the people who run the country. If it's a military industrial complex, that means the military is in true control of everything.
We're talking about a system, right?
Yeah, I kind of disagree though. I disagree with that notion, because who pays them? Like, we can talk about the generals being in the position, but when you look at their track records and what money they're getting and what funding they're getting, that's a murky different story. It's like the Michael Flynn case, the whole thing with him. Like, there's so many layers to that, but funding plays a huge factor. I mean, it's like the African proverb: whoever feeds you controls you. Yeah, you may be the general. Yeah, you may be served in for 20 years. Yeah, I may not be able to remove you. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who's donating to your things. I'm the one who's donating to your causes, that's giving you the funds to do what you need. So you're going to do what I tell you.
But who are the
generals
people
have a say and make a huge part?
But who are the people who buy the products the corporations sell? That makes them be able to donate and pay those people. You got to understand, whoever controls the people, that's who has the power. The American people have way more money than any corporation. And
can we agree? Can we agree? Because this is a circular argument here.
Sorry,
we're talking about it. We're talking about a system, right? Can we agree on that? Mm-hmm. They have a system. We don't. Yes. So we can get into the minutia of who controls what. That's really irrelevant. They have a system in place that benefits them. I want the same thing for my people. That's it. It's real simple. We make it. This stuff is not complicated. It's not complicated at all. That's why I say I'm just looking for little things for people to do to say that they are about this. Just little things. I'm not looking for no grand sacrifice. You don't have to be the guy that drives, takes the spaceship into the mothership that exploded and you die with. I'm not looking for all of that. Share a fucking link. Sign up to the website. Get around people in your neighborhood or in your area that believe in the same thing that you do. Let's start small. Baby steps. Before everybody want to start running marathons. You know what I'm saying? But yo, listen, I got to get off of here.
Same. I'm supposed to have been dead.
I enjoyed the conversation.
I gotta go.
I enjoyed the conversation, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right, peace, y'all. Peace to everybody in
All
the
right.
chat room. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right, peace.